This whole A.J. Brown thing is kind of, I'm going to say it, and Philly, I don't care how y'all feel, I don't care how none of y'all feel. It's time for A.J. to go. Ooh. You are who you are. All that sulking and pouting and all of that is starting to wear on the sideline. It's starting to become an issue in the locker room simply because he is who he is. Well, he's a diva. He's just tweeting. He's just a wide receiver. This is just something, it'll blow over. Oh, will it? Did A.J. Brown start his career in Philly?
No.
No, he started in Tennessee, right?
Right.
How did he get to Philly? He got traded, correct? Right. What was he doing before that? Tweeting and complaining. But A.J., he's matured and he's this and this is no shot to my quarterback. This has nothing to do with people in the building. They asked him after the Tampa game, what about your tweets? What's going on with your tweets? And he said, do you feel heard? Yeah, of course I feel heard. You know, Kevin Patullo, we talk. Nick Sirianni FaceTime me every day. They asked him about Jalen Hurts. He voiced the question.
No talk.
Do y'all communicate? They asked him Sunday, what happened after did you stop running? Did he overthrow you? What happened? Did y'all communicate after?
Nope.
Nothing happened. You're not communicating with your quarterback, but you want us to believe that there's nothing going on. Again, you are who you are. You're going to be how you're going to be. Everybody else in the locker room, Jalen Carter spit on somebody opening day, and that same person said in an interview, I don't care if I have 6 sacks in the game if we lose. I'd rather win. And AJ's constantly sulking on the sideline, making this thing about him over and over and over again. It's repeated behavior. And you know how I know that this is just who he is and it won't change? Hey, y'all can put that video up for me?
And so you really just start to break down. It's like, man, this is truly a business, but this team want me, so I'm going to give my all to this team, and I'm going to do everything I can to help this team win. And so, man, just learning that it is a business, that this can happen at any moment, you know, and nobody's off limit. So that's something, that's a learning curve for a lot of young guys that take a while. And for me, myself, like, I learned and I expressed frustration in the wrong manner at times during those times. Like looking back on it, like I was on Twitter, social media, tweeting, like I wouldn't do that now, right? But that's just me being older, just learning that it's just a business. And like I said, I'm here to do a job. At the end of the week, I get paid. That's just how it goes. Like everybody else with a regular day job, like, you know.
But he still tweeted.
That was A.J. Brown. After he left, that was right after he got traded.
No more tweets
to Philly. He said, "I wouldn't do that now. I've matured. Bro, this is 3 years later, and you still doing the same thing. Your quarterback. Look at this. This is 2022. It's out of my hands. God, I trust you. Tired of all this, just like y'all. Ooh. This is 2022. We're talking about the same thing in 2025. He is who he is. Your leader, who is your quarterback, he said, blame me. That's what he said yesterday after the game. Jalen Hurts said, blame me. Devontae, we just so happen to see his body language and see his frustration, okay? Happened yesterday, played well. Kobe Dean said in the locker room, you never want to be negative. You always want to be positive regardless of what happens. He's constantly sulking. He's constantly making it about him. They asked him about the route. You said he stopped. You said he stopped. You said he stopped. Everybody seen him stop. What happened? No, I don't believe I stopped on the play. Yeah, to me, he overthrew me. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what? Yeah. Like, seriously. And Richie, back to what you said. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't no Twitter when like Irvin and all them played, because they would have been doing the same shit. Yeah. Just the nature of their
I'm just saying,
Randy
bro,
Moss would be doing the
I'm
same
just saying,
shit.
there's a culture that's set, and this is constantly a thing.
Yeah. Every culture I've been in, the wideouts want the ball.
That is true.
That's what they do, man.
Okay, look at the difference of how Devontae's handling and how he's handling.
But they two different guys. That's the number 2 receiver and the number 1 receiver.
This is okay. Hey, listen. All
I know is at the end of the year, the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, right? He You said it.
Is that the same person that after he won? This the same person after he won said, "Win the Super Bowl ain't really all that." I ain't really think.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, but
cool. He making it about him.
Hey,
you just won a Super Bowl.
Hey,
and you still
rub his head right. Throw his ass back out there. Get your ass out there. We gonna need you one day, bro. Yeah. So that's just they role, bro.
Man,
that's what they do.
You just won a Super Bowl, and the next day is just
after you finish a game with Pat, that's how they feel. That's how all Philly feel right now. When they finish with Pat, when Pat get done with your ass, everybody want to get rid of you on your whole team. So that's what Pat do to you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man.
It make you want to get rid of his ass.
Y'all can keep acting like this is nothing all you want. It's consistent behavior. And it's why is everybody in the team having to answer questions about this one person? There's a lot that's going on. Jalen Hurts has had a new coordinator every year since college. Learning new offenses is not easy.
Okay.
There's an overabundance of weapons. Look at what Jalen did. The proof is in the pudding. When they was playing man, Jalen was lighting them up. Because I know he can win. Now we in zone. We got to figure this thing out.
We're lighting them off.
Okay. So, Gerald, you make lots of good points until you say it's time to trade him. They've won a bunch of games with him doing exactly this same stuff.
Cool.
They should have won 2 Super Bowls because Jalen played well enough. He outplayed Mahomes in the one that they barely lost to Mahomes. And I feel for AJ a little bit because I look at the production, except for that second half explosion against the Rams, that comeback, which he played the vital part of, because he went over 100 yards just the second half alone, because he's really good when he's plugged in and featured, because they had no choice. But in all the second halves, other than that one against the Rams, he's caught 2 balls for 16 yards. Yesterday, he caught 1 for 8 yards. I don't know what's happening, but to your point, you have a new coordinator who's completely screwed up in his approach, because they tried to feed AJ in the first half yesterday, and he did catch 4 balls for 35 yards on 4 targets. Okay, that'll work. And if he'd caught 4 more for 35 more in the second half, maybe they had won the game. He's up against maybe the best there is. I'll give you, he's the best playing right now. He's the top dog right now. Patrick Surtain, I wanted Dallas badly to draft him, and Denver snatched him right ahead of Dallas. Okay, so the biggest issue, and you touched on it, is, are you run or pass? Because last year, Saquon Barkley averaged 125 yards a game and went to game 17 and opted not to play, or all he needed was 101 more yards in game 17 to set the all-time single-season rushing record. Shout out to my man, Eric Dickerson, but he was in jeopardy, and Eric was forever thankful that they decided not to play him in game 17 because Eric did it in 16 games. But the point is, Saquon is averaging 53 yards a game. And if you'd told me going into yesterday that you're going to be up 17-3 in the third quarter, and Saquon's going to get 1 carry the rest of the way for no yards, 1 carry for no yards, I'm going to say you're out of your mind and something's wrong with Kevin Patullo. Yeah. Because that's like a fireable offense to me. If you got that guy and you can't do anything with him.
He got more than 1 carry.
He had the least amount of touches he's ever had in the NFL
I understand,
season.
but he got more than 1 carry. It just every time they gave him the ball, it was a fucking flag, and the carry didn't count.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he got more than 1 carry.
But
they just was shooting themselves in the foot. They was holding. They was illegal formation.
They're so messed up because of AJ's demands or sulking, pouting, whatever. Patullo tried to cater to that, like he's reading the.
He didn't though.
Okay.
He didn't though. He took. That's what the Broncos. That's what we made you do.
Okay.
Vance, load this box and we gonna run blitz you. And your answer, we playing man outside. If they got the box loaded, we playing man. That's what you do. You throw it outside.
Okay. I can
then
just
when we
tell
start
you what's
playing
going to
zone,
have to happen to this year's Philadelphia Eagles if they're going to be last year's. Nick Sirianni's going to have to take over play calling. Just watch.
I don't think they have an identity right now offensively. Yeah. They don't. Sometimes you just got to, Richie, he's an offensive lineman. Sometimes you got to say, I don't care what the end, we run the ball.
Yeah,
right.
Just do.
Yeah. I mean, last year, where there's smoke, there's fire. Last year it started between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, and they didn't get off to a hot start with the offense. But what they got to was feeding Saquon. They fed Saquon to open up the pass game.
Yep.
Now Kellen Moore moves on. Kevin Patullo comes in. And, I mean, they literally gave him the keys to the kingdom. You have A.J. Brown on one side, Devonta Smith on the other. You got Saquon. Preseason, they had the best offensive line on paper.
They did.
Defense that flies around that's going to get you opportunities. And now we're 5 games in, and I can't tell you what the Eagles' identity is on offense.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to run Saquon, 0 success. They're trying to get the ball to the receivers, but it's only for a half. I agree with Skip that they got to do something with the play calling duties, because this Denver game is another prime example. You come out in the first half, you're getting your looks, you're making your plays, you're getting your shots. And this is a very good Denver defense. I've seen this Denver defense in the AFC
Really
West
good.
against the Raiders. I mean, they are stout. They can get after the passer. Nick Bonito, he's one of the premier pass rushers in this league. He causes a lot of problems.
What school he go to? Oklahoma.
Oh, he's Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
I should have guessed. But I think, Vance Joseph out-coached Patullo and Sirianni
did.
yesterday.
He
He
controlled
way
it.
out-coached him because they had the looks. They got what they wanted. They started dictating the tempo of the game in the first half, and then the second half it comes out, and it's like, what's going on?
Because he switched it up. That's how he did. But so y'all want the Eagles to. He led the league. Saquon led the league in attempts, 345 totes. We know that, right? So y'all want him to just get hammered into the ground for this regular season shit. That's like y'all too in love with this regular season shit. If we winning games, we 4-0, and we not fucking killing Saquon out, what's wrong with that? Y'all don't see nothing wrong.
Right.
Like, we want to save Saquon for when this shit actually counts.
He had 1 carry in the second half against the Denver Broncos.
No, he had about
And
5 carries.
they weren't winning.
He had about 5 carries, but it kept being damn
Right.
flags. It was a whole bunch of flags making the runs not count. You know what I'm saying? But why would, if we 4-0, why would we run our workhorse to the ground? Why would we do that? We gonna run our workhorse to the ground when these games fucking count. About week 16 through the playoffs, that's when we gonna start running him through the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or when shit get bad, all right, fuck it, now we just gotta fucking feed them. We 4-0, why we gotta force it? What we doing? What kind of coaches are you guys, man?
Right.
Just give up a game to Denver. It doesn't matter.
They didn't give it up. They shot themselves in the foot, Skip. They fucked it off.
They did.
They missed their throws. They
tricked the game
got
off.
penalties. Every time they had a big play, it was a penalty. They had a second down. Devontae, boom. Penalty, bring it back. That was 15 yards. Devontae again, 4th down. Penalty, bring it back. Miss him on the bomb. They fucked it off themselves. The Broncos executed in the 4th. They didn't execute in the 4th. It didn't have nothing to do with the play calling.
The refs executed in the 4th. They executed the
The
Eagles.
refs tried to execute in the 4th.
Finally,
They
this
did.
is the last thing I'm going to say. We can say what we want about AJ. That's fine. Gerald said what he said. And the reason I'm saying what I say is because every time they bring up the guy who's supposed to give you the ball, there's no defense of him. There's no communication. And that becomes an issue because, Skip, you always say he plays the most dependent position in all of football, but really all the sports.
Yeah, it is.
So every time they bring this guy up, there's an issue or you avoid talking about it or there's no, after a throw like that, where you might have thought or he might have thought, you mean to tell me the first thing you didn't do is go to the sideline and say, hey, did you see me? Did I stop or whatever? You said nothing. You talked to the head coach and the offensive coordinator, but you don't communicate with the guy who's throwing you the ball. We don't talk.
Right.
And he said, oh, well, I don't even get in the huddle sometimes. I'm not the guy who on the sideline saying, give me the ball, whatever. We're not talking about that. Communication is key. The reason they got one of the best defenses of all time is because he could look over and look at Chris, give him that eye, give him that little, and we on the same page. It's called communication.
Yeah.
Okay, Gerald, you have to understand, they had a big off-the-field issue 2 years ago, and I don't think they ever got past it.
Right.
They made
Did they squabble?
some-
Right.
Huh?
Did they squabble or something? Like what?
It-
I ain't-
Like, fight it
No,
out.
but that's the
an
point. That's
issue.
the thing I'm making. That's the thing
I'll
I'm saying.
tell you off
Yeah, tell me after
But
Skip.
Skip,
I
that's the
missed
thing
it.
I'm saying. Everything
It had to be a female
on,
or something.
Everything's on
No, how that
Jalen.
go?
Everything's on Jalen. He's the quarterback.
Right.
Okay, you got a Devontae. You see, he could be a number one whenever you want to. how long is this going to keep
It
happening?
sounds
You know what?
good.
Devontae is not A.J. Brown. I don't care.
No,
what
he's
you
not.
say.
sounds
No,
good.
I'm
But he's a great compliment
not-
to
he is.
A.J.
He's
Brown.
not
He
a-
wouldn't
he's
have
not-
him.
listen,
If Devontae would have
AJ
had Pat on him, it would have been the same.
Same.
It would have been the
AJ
same.
Or worse.
AJ
Or
to
right.
me is a top 5 wide receiver in all of football.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just your talent.
Right.
It's becoming bigger than that, and the fans can
But
write.
how is it becoming bigger than that when all we can go off of is the Super Bowl and a 4-1 start? Like it ain't bigger than that yet.
Look at what
you
it
saying what
keeps
it might
happening.
be, but it's
Yeah.
not there
Look
yet.
at what keeps
Well, all
happening.
right.
It's stacking.
75% of the chat says that the offense of the Eagles has an issue and they're going to struggle. So we'll find out. We're going to see. But I do want to talk about an offense that has not been struggling.